Welcome to Hiking Adventures with Mark Winfield. We're at Keji National Park in central Nova Scotia. My friend Paul Scoville and I are there for an overnight hike. The first day starts at the Big Dam parking lot, and we travel from there to Channel Lake, which is about 5 kilometers cross country, and then to Frozen Ocean Lake, which is another 10 kilometers to get to Site 45, which is a backcountry camping site. So here we are at Keji, about to go on our hike.
Into the wilderness.
Into the wilderness. Paul just weighed his bag, and how much does yours weigh?
34 point something.
34.2 pounds. And that's counting
2 beers.
2 beers.
Tall boys.
2 tall boy beers. It's 30.2 without water. 34.6 with water.
So all we have to do is do without water.
Right. So we're off, and we're heading in a clockwise direction on this loop trail towards Channel Lake first. And we're just beginning here on the trail. It's a narrow trail. And it's a pleasant day. It's just in the low 70s, just above 20. And the bug dope is working so far. And that's good. So we're carrying on. Paul just said the road less traveled, and certainly that seems to be the case. The trail's obvious, but it's not very wide. And I don't know whether it's in this condition because of COVID and not too many people out here. I think the park only opened recently. Our first blowdown. Trail blaze, and on a properly marked trail you should be able to see the next blaze, which of course you can right ahead there. After about 4 kilometers, this little stretch here is the first real elevation change we've had. We're in Blowdown City. There's Paul putting the bug dope on. We're at the intersection. We've got 9 kilometers to go. Straight ahead would take us down to the lake, and this takes us sort of alongside of the lake towards our campsite number 45. We just turned to the right at the fork in the road, and the trail seems to be about the same as what we've encountered so far.
We've encountered bugs. 2 of our party have been carried off. We've decided to continue on.
This trail is not very heavily traveled, that's for sure. trail is not always obvious, but we find our way. He's fallen down and he can't get up. For about the last 20 minutes, we've come into an area, first time today, where we're coming across erratics. Not quite bushwhacking, but close. Friend Paul found a very comfortable looking resting place. Just going through a section near the lake, which is over there. That is Blowdown Central. I'm thinking this was left over from when Hurricane Dorian came through. First good view of the lake. The trail seems a bit better here. A lot of the trail on this stretch has been terrible. There's big stretches where they're pretty well overgrown. We arrived at our campsite between 8 and 8:30, and we're glad to be there. I would rate day one as being difficult. Beautiful calm day. Nice little breeze. Bend over and tend to it again. What you cooking there, Paul?
I don't know. Dead cow
Burgers.
we found on the way.
Maybe not. And blueberry brunch also.
Blueberry brunch.
Having my first coffee of the day. Yahoo! Gotta start the day with coffee.
Belts are important, even when camping. But when they break, things go bad quickly. However, tent string,
Guy wire.
guide wire, that's it,
Guy wire, yeah.
can guide your pants back on your hips like nothing else. And it's a fashion statement, as I said to Mark. It's all the rage in Paris.
About 8:30 in the morning. We've been hiking about 10 minutes. And thankfully, it's not hot and humid like it was yesterday. It was terrible yesterday. And though the mosquitoes are out, and I know we're traveling back on a better trail than we came in on yesterday. The trail yesterday was in terrible shape, but it didn't look like it had received any trail maintenance in years. There was whole stretches that were practically overgrown, long stretches. All sorts of blowdowns. It was just a mess. According to the signs up at the intersection, which we're on our way to, this is Wilderness Trail. There's a cautionary sign saying the trail may not be marked, and so on. So it's not so bad. A little bit of a road here. Looks a bit of a marshy area. We're heading back to the parking lot at the Big Dam, 10 kilometers. And straight ahead is where we came from yesterday. Beautiful spot. That's why we come out in the wilderness. This is a much better trail than yesterday. Yesterday it was hot and the bugs were fierce and very muggy. We went through 4 liters of water on our 15-kilometer hike in. We were walking along here and Paul and I were talking about the ticks. There are a ton of ticks around. And while I've attracted some ticks, really not very many. Paul is an absolute tick magnet. He'd sit on a rock or a log and like in a matter of a minute, you'd have 10 or 20 ticks crawling all over him. It was just amazing. Now I've got light colored pants and I'm wearing gaiters and a green shirt, and Paul's dressed like this. So I don't know whether...
I think it's a high protein diet.
Yes, you must be very tasty, Paul, because... or smell really good or something, because it was amazing how many ticks Paul had. If I had one on me, Paul had probably 7 to 10 on him. But we got them all off.
You think?
We hope. Just walking along and I see some bare footprints on the trail. Yesterday we saw some bear scat, and it didn't seem very fresh, but a couple times we saw bear scat. Of course there's bears in this area. We've seen a lot of this kind of lichen today, which I think is called deer lichen, or certainly it's a lichen that the deer like to eat. But I'll check in a second. Time for a little break. 5.7 kilometers on this double track. We're heading back to a woods trail. And we have probably 5 more kilometers to get back to the parking lot, something like that. After traveling about 100 meters on a woods trail, we're back on the road. And after traveling probably a couple hundred meters on the road, we're back on the woods trail. We arrived back at the Big Dam parking lot at about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Today was a much more pleasant day than yesterday because it wasn't so hot. There was a bit of a breeze which kind of kept the bugs down. Despite a bit of a rough day one, I would say the hike was enjoyable, though I think it would be more so in September when you didn't have so much heat and bugs. Overall, I would say this hike was moderate in difficulty if you were doing it in reasonable weather. I hope you enjoyed the video and look forward to seeing you outdoors.